Hey, this is Excel Mage bringing you Modern Bookkeeper 7. This time I'm going to cover nested logic, which is a step up over the last two episodes, which I also covered if statements. Now I'm going to put in more complex multi-criteria stuff. So if a standard if statement, we have the logical test, the true, and the false. So with the nested logic, what we're going to do is we're going to replace this false statement with yet another if statement. Now we're going to be using the same sample data as we used last time, and these are sales transactions, the salesperson, the dollar amount, region, product, and we were calculating commissions rates based on certain promo schedules. If we look at the sales rate for last time the company was doing a promo for all the riot gear sales. We were giving the salespeople a $150 bonus. So this week is a little different since we're running two different promos. We're running a $150 promo on machetes and a $100 one on medical supplies. So if we look at this formula, you can see it's evaluating cell D4, and it asks, is this riot gear? If so, 150. If not, 0. So we're going to put in the word machetes because it is the first item in our promo. And then instead of, we're keeping $150. And instead of the 0, the false, we're going to open it up with an entirely new if statement. So we're going to type if, open parentheses, and we're going to evaluate the same cell, which is D4, equals, and we're going to do the second item on the promo schedule, which is medical supplies. So quotation mark, medical supplies, end quotation, comma to separate the arguments. And so next comes the true statement. So if it's medical supplies, it's going to be $100. And if not, a 0. And then a second parentheses, because each if you have to close with another set of parentheses. So if you look at it, you can see how the whole statement is recursive. If you could do one if statement, you could do two if statements for a nested if statement, because in order to nest it, you're really just duplicating the original. So let's finish up this formula here. We're going to hit enter and spread the formula down. You'll see this is medical supplies, and the sales bonus was 100, and this one was machetes, so it was 150. So now it is reviewing based on two separate criteria. Now if we go back over to the slides, I'll show you again exactly how that works. We have the simple standard logical, the if statement, the logical test, the true, and the false. And for the nested logic, we replace the false statement with another if statement. So it evaluates condition 1, and if it's not true, then it evaluates condition 2. So let's do another example. In this example, we're going to change the commission rate from being a flat 10% to being a 10 or 15%. And whether it's 10 or 15% varies based on the promo schedule. As you can see, I added machetes, or 15% in the M column, and 10% on the medical supplies. So we're going to give the salespeople a 10 or 15% bonus depending on what product it was that they sold. So we're going to go over the commissions. It equals if first logical test, product type, in D4. D4 equals first item on the promo schedule, machetes. So we type in the word machetes. End quotation with a comma to introduce the true statement. So if it's true, we're going to multiply the dollar value of the sale, which is in B4, times 15%. So times 0.15. So we have our first logical test here, and then we have our first true output, which is dollar amount times 15%. And then instead of a false, right now we're going into our second if statement, So we introduce our if, open parentheses, go back to products, D4 equals the second item on our promo schedule, which is medical supplies, which is our second condition, our second logical test. And if that's true, we're multiplying the dollar amount by 0.1, which is 10%. So you see how we have a second condition, and then we have a second true, and then we finish off the statement with the final false. So if neither of these conditions are met, then we're going to multiply the base rate times 0.05, which is 5%, hit enter, and spread the formula. Now we're going to check our work by taking the sales commission and dividing it by the amount. You see that's 0.15, 15%. Medical supplies, 0.1. See how it's 10%. That's a 0.5. That's a 0.5. You see how that works. So that's it for this time. I'm not sure what I'm showing you next time, but I promise you it will be exciting. Bye.